Hello, I'm Chef Leanne. I live and work in the fabulous Florida Keys. I've lived here in Marathon for 54 years and I've been in the industry for 40 of those years. Today, we're at my location, The Table. It's not a restaurant, it's a catering kitchen. However, you can reserve it for your private event. In order to get here, you have to drive 50 miles of the most beautiful scenic highway, US 1. We have the Gulf of Mexico to the right, and we have the Atlantic Ocean to the left. This is the fishing destination, and I use that for my local seafood. The next 3 episodes is all about the pinks. So today we're doing a Key West pink shrimp named after its namesake. I'm going to be doing 2 dishes today. I'm going to do a shrimp bisque, and then I'm also going to do a butter poached shrimp that I'm going to serve with my chef-made roasted red pepper cocktail sauce. That's going to be the next dish. So we're going to start with the bisque. What I have here, I've already cleaned the shrimp. So these are the shells which we're going to use for the bisque. So I'm going to start with a little bit of olive oil. And then I've got my celery, carrots, onions, garlic, a little bit of thyme. We're going to get that started. After that sautés a little bit, I'm going to add a little bit of water to it, and the most important part, I forgot to add the shrimp skins. So of course we're going to add these shrimp skins in. It's a shame that most people throw those away when they can be just make this simple dish. And then I'm just going to be adding some water. And this is the broth that's going to be for the bisque. Now this normally cooks 3 to 4 hours, and then I'm going to strain it so that all I have left is the liquid. The shrimp bisque has been cooking for 3 hours with the shells and everything that I had put in it. And this would be the end result. It comes out to a nice thick broth. I've strained it so that you don't have any more of the shells or anything like that. It's strictly just the broth. So now I'm going to go ahead and finish the bisque. So I'm starting with a little bit of olive oil, equal amount of flour, and this is a roux. I'm going to add a little bit of tomato paste. Make sure it's incorporated and mixed really good. Now I'm going to add a little bit of sherry. And sherry is just going to give it a wonderful flavor. I'm also going to top it off with a little bit of sherry too. And now I'm going to add the broth. Shrimping used to be plentiful in the Florida Keys. When I was growing up in elementary school, all my friends, all the kids I went to school with, their families were all shrimpers. And today, that's very few, and there's only a few of the shrimp boats left on Stock Island. So the commercial fishing industry here in the Keys, from when I grew up till now, has changed dramatically. Although we do have commercial fishing, it's just half of what we used to have. All right, so now this needs to cook for a little while until it gets nice and thick. It's going to boil on a low simmer, and then it's going to get nice and thick. And then we'll go ahead and plate this. So my bisque is done. It thickened up, and I poured it into this beautiful bowl for plating. And I just wanted to show you how nice and thick it is. It's not a chowder. It doesn't have chunky. Bisques are nice and smooth and thick. Now I'm going to go ahead and finish this off with a little bit of garnish. I have some heavy cream, a little bit of sherry, just a touch. I have one shrimp that I'm going to just plate right on the top, get that to stand up, and then some fresh thyme. And here you have the finished product, a Key West pink shrimp bisque. And of course I have it with a glass of white wine, so enjoy. Ching ching. So now we're going to do the next course. It is the butter poached Key West pink shrimp. And I'm going to make my own cocktail sauce to go with that. Rather than using the basic ketchup cocktail sauce that most use, I put a little bit of a swing on it. So I'm going to be using some roasted red peppers, some fresh garlic, a little bit of horseradish, and that's going to depend on how much heat you want. So I've got a lot. And then I'm going to be using the Calabrian chilies, and again, that's optional. You don't have to add that. I just like the heat. And then I'm going to be using some ketchup. Give it a good blend. All right, that's done. It's just a spin on a different kind of a cocktail sauce. All right, now I'm going to move on to doing the butter poached shrimp. I have a pan of water, just a little bit of water because I want to poach it. And I don't want to bring that to a complete boil. I want it more of a simmer. I'm going to add some salt here. And a ton of butter. And the reason that I do the butter poaching of the Key West pinks, it's such a beautiful shrimp. It's delicate and it's pink and it's sweeter in flavor. All right, we're going to go ahead and let this butter melt a little bit. And like I said, I don't want it to come to a boil. I want it to just simmer a little bit. So now that my butter has melted and I've got a nice simmer going on here, I'm going to add my shrimp. And this really does not take long at all. I would say probably a minute on each side. Right. While that's cooking, that wonderful roasted red pepper cocktail sauce that I had just made, I'm going to put these in these cute little spoons. I love using these when I'm doing catering events. So Key West pink shrimp, named after its namesake, can only be caught off of Key West. They cannot be caught anywhere else. So buyer beware. We have lots of imitations out there, but now you can tell the difference, because if you were here eating this, you would be able to taste that it's a sweeter shrimp, and it's pink. When I was a kid growing up here in the Keys, we used to go shrimp netting ourselves. Nobody does it anymore, but we used to do it when I was a kid. And we would wait for the colder weather to move in, and then we would go for the highest bridge that we can find. I didn't do it, but my brothers did it. As I told you, I grew up with 4 brothers, and they all love shrimping. And they waited for that cold night, and then they talked me into lugging all the equipment out there. Okay, I think we're done. Put some shrimp on it. This is the key limes, of course, for a garnish. And just a little bit of parsley. So there you go, a butter poached Key West pink shrimp in my roasted red pepper cocktail sauce. Now, because the shrimp was poached in a ton of butter, I would recommend, if you like doing the wine pairing, I have myself a nice buttery Chardonnay, which will go really great with this dish. Ching ching, enjoy.
Hi, I'm Jo Grego with Island Breeze Vacations. Island Breeze manages vacation rental properties in Marathon, Key Colony Beach, and Grassy Key. We have everything from modest condominiums to luxury vacation rentals with views like this. We are locally owned and operated, and we want you to experience the Florida Keys like the locals do. To book your vacation today, call Island Breeze.